Good day, folks. It's DIY Guy 123 bringing you another do-it-yourself video. Today we've got a B7200 HST-D diesel tractor, Kubota tractor, basic tractor, four-wheel drive. And I'm doing some maintenance on it, and I drained out the transmission fluid, and I'm supposed to have 13.5 or 13.9 liters, and only about 6 came out, or maybe more than that, but anyway, not enough came out. And I wondered why that could be, and generally there's only one reason. It's leaked out somewhere. So, but I couldn't tell because it was all dry, so I changed the filters, and I've got another video on that. And when I filled it up, it started to leak right here. Now, some people have talked about, this is the rear axle, of course, on the right-hand side with the wheel off it. Some people have talked about how the seal leaks between the seal and the axle. And that's the most common leak because as the axle turns, it will wear on the lip of the seal. But other people have talked about how the seal pops out of the housing. It'll actually physically move forward. So before you go to all this effort of changing seals, you may, if you think your seal has popped out, tap it back in and see if it stays in. Cold weather can make the fluid be thick. And if you use the wrong type of fluid, wrong type of transmission fluid or hydraulic fluid, it can be even thicker, and it can force these rear seals out, I've heard. In any case, I heard another person who noticed it was leaking between the seal and the housing, so they popped the seal out, put a smear of sealant in there, and pushed the seal back, and that took care of that problem. But in our case today, I've got a brand new seal. It's actually got it's got like a dust, wait a minute now. It's got like four individual surfaces that touch the axle. So it's quite a complex seal. It wasn't that bad from Kubota. And here's a diagram showing all the parts. So we have the axle, the seal I'm going to change, a snap ring, and then this housing. If you were going to take the axle out, I think the snap ring has to come out, and then you get the bearing that pulls out with it too, I imagine. I'm not sure. Anyway, several sites on the internet talk about having to remove this housing and get this axle out so you can replace this seal, but not for this tractor. That's only applicable if you have an axle with a big hub on the end. But here you can see, I can get that seal right on there. So what I'm gonna do is take a screwdriver, knock it in, I'm gonna try anyway, knock it in through the metal of this outside cover of the seal, try and pry the old seal out of there. Certainly you wanna make sure your new seal is the right size. I'm hesitant to just slide it down there because I don't want any of this rough metal here to cut my new seal, so I'm probably gonna take a piece of emery cloth and clean that up a bit before I put the new seal on. But I want to make sure it fits, and if it's the right size, then I'm going to pry this out of here. It's also important when you're taking a seal out to notice how much of the seal is protruding. So I've got this housing, and then I've got this housing, and then that's where this outer lip here, I believe that's the seal. I'm not certain, but I think what my fingernail is touching is the seal. That's certainly the seal, but I think that also is. And I want to make note that this is not flush with the housing. It actually protrudes this way a little bit. So what that means is when I pound this back in, I don't need to have this edge with my fingernail touching right in line with this housing. It's okay if that seal is out a little bit. Right, we're through. Well, that didn't work very well. Okay, so we're getting ready here. This is going to be a bit of drama, I'm pretty sure, because it does have all the fluid in it. What might have been sensible is for me to drain out half or more than the fluid or all the fluid, do this job and then put it back on, but we're gonna just throw caution to the wind here. And I've got a helper with some rubber gloves. They're gonna try and stem the flow of oil. When we get this old seal out, it's gonna be pretty rapid. I'm gonna throw the old seal away. I'm gonna slide the new one on. In preparation, I've got an oil film on the inside and the outside. There's no sealant required for this. So with any luck, that seal will come out and basically leave the inner race clean, and this one can go right in. We'll see. I don't know if this is a good idea, but you'll be here to witness. Okay, so that's there, and See it right at the top there. Okay, I gotta get this right. And let's get right here. Okay, there we go. There's that. You're doing a great job, helper. And awesome. That is amazing. That is amazing.
That's good.
Now, the only hope I have is that when I check the old one, all the parts of this seal are here and not stuck in there. In other words, if there's a piece of rubber ripped off of here, it could possibly be in there. But now, there was a lot less that came out of there than I expected. And I wonder... Okay, it's not as dramatic as I thought it was going to be. Let's give that a bit of a clean. And then turn this. Perfect. And then that seal will get tapped in there. I'm gonna... Now is not the time to get crazy with your tapping. Ideally, you drive it in super evenly, but I'm happy with how this is going. Remember I said the other seal protruded from the housing a little bit. This one seemed to drive in nicely a little deeper than the original. I'm not worried by that. And that's it. Top up your hydraulic fluid and you are done the rear axle seal replacement. Wheel back on, you're ready to go. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Good luck with your do-it-yourself projects.